I was extracting old tax files from a corrupted hard drive my sister begged me to salvage. A hidden encrypted partition popped up, and when I bypassed the lock, a thumbnail loaded showing a picture of my wife who passed away 4 years ago. My lungs seized as I opened the directory, and in one horrific audio file, my entire family history shattered into pieces. The recording was labeled October 14th, the exact night Diane was moved to the hospice facility. It wasn't a medical update, it was a voice memo, capturing the distinct sound of my sister Renee, laughing, mixed with a deep voice I recognized instantly. "We've got the cabin to ourselves until Sunday," the man said. "He's practically living in the ICU waiting room." It was Brandon, my daughter's husband. I sat frozen at my desk at 2:15 am, the glowing screen illuminating my trembling hands. I didn't stop there. I dug deeper into the partition and unearthed an ocean of betrayal. Spreadsheets disguised as budget forecasts were actually itineraries for weekend trips to Sedona and Aspen. Bank transfers totaling $34,500 over 3 years, funneled from a joint account Brandon shared with my daughter, straight into an LLC Renee had secretly registered. They weren't just sleeping together in the very cabin Diane and I built. They were bleeding my daughter dry to fund their twisted double life. And they started doing it while I was watching my wife take her final, agonizing breaths. I didn't smash the monitor. I didn't call them screaming. Instead, I meticulously cloned the drive onto 10 separate USB sticks. I needed a battlefield, and the perfect one was already on the calendar. Saturday was the grand reopening of our family's hardware store in downtown Portland, a business my grandfather started. Everyone was going to be there. Brandon, my daughter Amber, Renee, and Renee's unsuspecting husband, Neil. The mayor was even supposed to cut a ribbon. I spent Thursday and Friday completely restructuring the store's new promotional display. We had a massive 75-inch smart TV set up in the front window, supposed to run a slideshow of our store's history. I went to Neil's office on Friday afternoon. I handed him one of the flash drives and told him to plug it in when he got home, ensuring he'd have a 24-hour head start to process the nightmare. Neil was a good man. He deserved the tackle advantage. Saturday morning arrived, crisp and sunny. The store was packed with local vendors, friends, and family. Brandon was working the crowd, kissing babies, and acting the part of the devoted son-in-law, his arm wrapped tightly around Amber. Renee was sipping a mimosa near the registers, holding court. At exactly 11:00 am, the crowd gathered near the front window for my opening speech. I grabbed the microphone. "We are here to celebrate family," I started, my voice echoing through the PA system. And nothing reveals the true foundation of a family quite like the dark. I hit the remote in my pocket. The promotional slideshow vanished from the massive screen. Instead, a bank statement flashed up in 4K resolution, highlighting a $4,200 charge at a luxury resort in Sedona, perfectly matched with a photo of Brandon and Renee kissing on a balcony, date stamped 3 days before Diane's funeral. The crowd gasped. The cheerful hum of the room flatlined into a suffocating silence. Amber backed away from Brandon, her hands covering her mouth. "What is this?" Brandon stammered, his charming smile melting into absolute panic. Before I could answer, Neil stepped out of the crowd. He didn't yell. He just calmly walked up to Renee, handed her a manila envelope containing the foreclosure notice for their house, and walked right out the front door. Brandon lunged for the TV cord, desperately trying to yank it from the wall, but I had secured it with heavy-duty zip ties. The screen transitioned to an audio waveform, and Renee's mocking laughter filled the hardware store, echoing off the power tools and paint cans. "Stop it, turn it off," Renee shrieked, dropping her glass. It shattered loudly over the concrete floor. "You spent $34,000 of my daughter's savings to screw my own sister in the bed I built for my dying wife," I said into the microphone, locking eyes with Brandon. "You don't get to turn this off." Amber didn't cry. My brave girl just calmly took off her wedding band, dropped it into Brandon's shirt pocket, and walked over to stand behind me. The local news reporter, who had been invited for the ribbon-cutting ceremony, was standing completely still, her camera operator still rolling. Brandon looked at the blinking red light on the lens, realizing his career as a local real estate agent was instantly vaporized. The police ended up arriving due to the noise complaint, escorting Brandon and Renee off the property to avoid a riot. We never cut the ribbon that day, but we definitely cut the dead weight out of our lives for good.